Hi guys. Just sharing the link. Give me 1 second. You can all join in. Okay. Hi Gaurav. Good evening. Guys, let me just share. Join the live. Hi Satya. Hi Sai. Hi Tanuja. Hi Mr. Bajwa. Good evening. Hope you all had a good good weekend. Hi Raghu. Namaste. Uh okay. So I'm gonna start in just 1 second. Hi Mitchell. So just to give you good news, Gaurav Sabharwal has done a fantastic job for all of us, saving a lot of our time by creating this Excel sheet uh, right there. This is like pre-filled based on what I do manually. So I'm going to use it from like a day or two from now, but it's covering all the evening stars, hanging man, and it automatically detects everything. So only thing we need to do in the live session is to figure out the entries. Everything else will be automatically detected and will save a tremendous amount of time for all of us. Because entering all this information manually does take a lot of time. Plus, going through all the scanners and going through all the like point by point columns, it does take a lot of time. This is based on my watch list, and it's a very meaningful and very remarkable job which Gaurabai has done for all of us. So thanks to him on a very sincere behalf. BA, we'll talk about that, Mitchell. So just to let you know, we'll be publishing this sheet every night like I do it on the Twitter. So you will have this, you will be able to use this because these values are not going to change. So there's no need for asking for this sheet because these values are based on the end of day sessions and will be really helpful to all of you when you're doing your live and like trading or executing something. And if anybody has any good idea or anybody wants to work with us on this to make it much more meaningful, any ideas, please ping directly to me and we'll schedule a discussion with you how to make things much more cleaner from here. All right. So thank you, Gaurabai, one more time for helping us out in creating this. And he is the one on the chat as number one person, Gaurav Savarwal. So do follow him, do thank him. He's doing a good job for all of us. All right. So for today, this scan has already done the job. Like if I look at the scan has figured out that there's only one morning star, which is PayPal, and then there are inside bars on AMD, on Netflix, Spotify, QS. So I'm gonna move them into my list. All right, just to make things simpler, I'm just following it. So tomorrow onwards, we'll be matching this sheet automatically. Right now, I'm just filling it manually, but going forward, this is going to really help us. Okay, so I'm gonna add. Come on. Let me do one thing. Let me just do this everything on this sheet And then we'll move that information into the normal sheet. And thank you. All right, so scans are all done automatically, so I'm not jumping into the scans. We already have inside days, we have weekly inside days, dodgies, hammer, morningstar, all of them hanging man, all of them already there. Only PayPal is showing us positive, otherwise it's normal. So I'm going to jump on ES right away. This saves a lot of time right away, and that's the best part. When we are collaborating, it's really helpful. And also we can validate the information in conjunction. Like DMI is one negative for now. So let's see if that is coming as DMI is positive or high. It is still fine, but and HA state is -5. HA state is -4 on ES. Maybe because it's picking up for the futures and futures are now live. I think 12 EMA. Think I need to let's do one thing. Let's use the scanners and then jump onto our sheet later on. Okay. So ES features uh, is -4, NQ is -5. So I'm gonna update that for now. -4, -4, -5, -5. It means that the negative trend is there. Now NQ DMI state is I'm gonna save this for now. Close it. Uh, DMI state for is I think red first. So I'm gonna mark it as -1. So right now DMI is negative, has 1234 changed. 1234 is still fine. So it's okay. Uh, Now what is the level on ES? Now ES you see right now it's bounced right from that long-term regression channel. Now unless and until we lose, as I said last time, unless and until we lose, it's going to be a tough task. Second important thing, from 4,800, we went down almost to 4,702, which is like 3%, roughly 3% correction. And then we end up making a dodgy, which means if the trend has to change, we need to clear this 4740 to make it as a morning star. Usually when you want to change, you need to cover the last candle's body, which is right here. So this must be cleared to make sure that yes, we have any positive momentum. If we lose this red line, then we are definitely on the wrong side and we are going down with some aggressive market moves. So be careful that yes, the market moves are going to be a little crazy. Market moves are going to be little sharp as compared to what we have seen in a tight zone. All right. So my take right now is we must hold it here, otherwise we are going down badly. So my views is like 50-50. I'm not sure where it will take its direction. So I'm gonna keep 50-50. My stop loss or my positive trade will be above 47, like the high here. 47, 40, yeah, 47.40 is the right area to buy this. Or I'll say 47.50, 40 to 45. It's a good area to buy into ES. Your stop loss should be 47. Where's the Doji close? Doji closed at 47.35. So 47.35 is your stop loss. what will be your next level? 12 EMA, 47.69.59, right there. That's your first target, and then there's a second target. I don't think so. We have at this moment the strength in the market to push it higher than this. If we backtest and do not break out above this, we are going down with more strength. So it's like we need to clear this and have a close, at least one close above this before we can say yes. The pessimism or the negative move which has started from this evening star has gone away. Usually we bounce from here, and we did that on Friday. That's why I was keep on saying that 47.20 is going to be a tough area to crack. Once we hold this blue line 47.20, we were jumping from this level multiple times throughout the day. Also, if you want to compare this historically, if it act as a resistance, right here, it acted as a resistance, and in that case, we were never able to clear it. Now, if this acts as a support, we should bounce. But if it fails, we have a gap, and then we also have the next Fibonacci around 45.80. So which is again 180 points from here. So I do not want to create panic, but we need to hold this red line with some reasonable strength. Apple is remarkably weak, and Microsoft is not helping either in managing these indexes. Only the banks are showing up the strength. So unless and until banks give up, I don't think so. We'll be losing this easily. Focus should be on the banks, especially JPM, Bank of America, during this week. All right. So this is the upside level. On the lower side, if we want to lose, we need to see 47.27. If we make a lower low than this, then we are going down towards 4702. The break of 47.2 leads to 46.80. The short below 47.27. Stop loss 4735. That's why I'm giving 50-50%. Uh, Evening star continuation is going on below 12 EMA. So it's 80. Evening star continuation. So I'm going to keep that. Yes. Yes. And that's why CPI is there. Banks earnings are there. So it's going to be a little good week in terms of reactions. Let's look at the book map for ES. Come on. So if you look at the book map right now, there's an equal number of buyers, not a significant count like 111 lots. Usually in the live market, it should be around 500, 600. So this number is not so big, but not so small either. So same amount of sellers are there. 47, 45, 47, 20, 25. So mm, I think we'll chop in this region unless we break out above this, which is where I'm looking at, or below this. In between, you will only end up in losing trades. Okay, so levels are fine. Let's go to NQ. It's exactly same structure. Evening star making a doji, but doji made a like lower low, almost came in conjunction with this blue, or I would say purple line in the regression channel, but has not tested 34 EMA and bounced. So let's see if it can hold this 34 uh, area as a bounce or not. Last time I said 16,400 is a good support. Again, I'm going to say 16,400 is a good support. Till the moment that is held, you should not short. If that is lost, then 1671 is your area of target. That's out NQ. Still a evening star continuation, but we had a doji at the uh, doji at the lows. This is what I wrote last time. 16,400 is a good deal. And it was from 16,400, it went on to make 16,600. So these are the benefits of having a good level. When you look at the level, you jump into that, and then you go positive. Again, 50-50% take. Now here I want to buy with 16,400 as my stop loss, and I will be shorting below 16,400. Very first time you need to figure out your stop. Now, next thing to keep in mind is where we can go long. Usually the evening star or the positive movement will above 550, but that's too far from the stop loss. So I'm going to take a trade around 16. I'll say if we get a dip between buy and dip, because 16,400 is a good area. 16,420 to 440. If we can get that, that's a good area to go long. And if we go long there, then we need to clear this 16,585. Even before that, we need to clear this. The open was 16,545, 16,545, and then 16,667, which is a 12 EMA. Again, evening star continuation is there, so I'm going to keep that in mind. Now, where you need to sell below 16,400. If we make 16,400, then this will be the next low, which is 16,300 and 16,070. 16,300 will be a confirmation for an aggressive downside on NQ. All right, so let's keep an eye on these levels. Now I'm going to go back into my sheet just to check. Refresh it. So we have Apple, we have AMD, Amazon, Google, Microsoft. I do want to include Spot and PayPal. I'm going to get rid of Walmart. So I'm going to include Spot. Coinbase has done its job, and it has an inside bar. So coin has an inside day. Amazon has an inside day. Netflix has an inside day. Netflix is right there. I don't want to cover Walmart, so I'm Walmart like failed and created an evening star, so I'm going to ignore that. I do want to include PayPal. And JP Morgan is there. Lily has done the job of 16,336 right on that number, so it did its job. I do want to include uh, Spotify. All right, so this is my list. Uh, it looks good. Inside the morning stars, I don't see, only PayPal has a morning star. Where is PayPal? PayPal has a morning star. Nvidia, no. Done the job. No. No, this. All right, good. Like from tomorrow onwards, once we clean this up and our Excel sheet, because right now, as I showed you, this is the Excel sheet which is coming from the data. We are still working on it, but this is going to save us a lot of time. We just need to fill the data of entries and exits, and everything is already there. So just a couple of more uh, tries, and we should be very clean with this data. Now let's jump on to Apple. Apple, last time I said this is going to be a dodgy and it should bounce. It did not. Instead, it made a lower low and a lower low, and it came to a Fibonacci of 50%, which had been a previous uh, resistance zone. Like if you see, it was trying to make a W and then broke out. So if we lose 180.35, then it should be sold off here. So let's go back. Previously, every time it comes here into 180 Fibonacci and 177, it was finding the top and the base here. But this time it has rejection. The EMI has turned negative and it is going down. So a loss here, because this is a very important trend line, which it has not lost in. Like if you see, I'll create a chart for 5 years. Let me just clear this annotations. You see, this is the second instance where it has lost this long-term support line. Otherwise, from December of 2023, it has rallied non-stop into one direction. So this is going to be really important. 177, if it loses on the closing basis, which is not too far, this is going to be really, really massive downside opening for Apple. It could lead a M pattern, which can bring it right at here. Because Apple is coming short on services. The iPhone demand is not creating that kind of, or I would say, lackluster response. Somehow they are trying to make a demand by buying back or doing these kind of new services and everything. But end of the day, Apple has to create a lot of demand for the iPhones because that's their revenue stream. If it is not able to generate that, it's not going to help. So I am a little nervous on Apple right now. It's negative 123. So Apple is -4 now. Apple is -4. EMI is there. Yes, it has turned negative. Tell EMI, I would simply say, let me just change everything to yes first. This is no, it's negative. I'll change the names. Now I'm gonna short this and short below 180. 35. If it does that, as is shown you on the chart, it could hit 177, 173. 177.30 could be a really, really uh, nice area for a bounce. But this time I have a doubt, and 173 is possible because it's coming from a rejection from 61. So the same basic principle, rejection from 61, rejection from 61, which is 183. You come back at 50, you try at 38, but you come back to 23. Otherwise, you'll end up right here at 0. This is really an important area to bounce. That's why if we lose 180 tomorrow, this is an important loss of support, and I would go all in shorting Apple. That's kind of a trade it is setting up right now in Apple. So Apple is negative. and this should be red. All these numbers should be red. It failed as a potential morning star, failed from 61.8 fib. 177 is the last level of support in regression channel. This is really negative for Apple. That's what I'm saying. If we start to lose 16,400, the amount of downside will get really, really quick. And it will be really aggressive on the downside. So just be careful if you're trying to long Apple. AMD. So AMD met my target of 144, but it did not able to close above this Fibonacci and the 12 EMA, which is 78.6 Fibonacci and the 12 EMA of 139. Now, unless we close above this is going to be a little tough to trade because with market it will go down and will try to test or back test the EMA, which is 34 at 132. So previously this region 78 has provided us a tough area. Now with under the 12 EMA, either we cross 139 and we have a close above this, meaning tomorrow's close should be above this, then we can see. Otherwise, we will kind of oscillate between 12 and 34, which is never a good setup. So last time I said this is going to be my best trade. I'm just going to remove that tag and make it automatic. Now here we need to see the DMIs, they're all positive. So I'm going to make it green. EMI is still positive, 12 and 34 are there. Let's look at the MA, High Kenichi candles count. It is 0. So definitely not negative because it was negative previously. So this is flat 0. Now, again, I would say if you want to buy at a dip AMD or buy over 139. I want to buy around 133, 134. I do not want to buy here. So I'm going to say buy in dip around 135, 36, stop loss 133. Target 138.80. And the next target will be 141.80. I do not want to buy this. Between 12 and 34 EMA, most likely to chop. Then we have Amazon. Amazon on Friday, I don't know why TikTok had something, but Amazon is an inside day. If we are holding 145, then I think we should be fine until 143.65. Because this was now we are 12 and 34 EMAs are still positive because they are there, but the candles are below. Okay, so we did a back test to break out, could not. And that's why you see the long-term resistance line is really important. Now, either we need to hold here so that we can go above this line, or we are coming down to this 140-ish area. So, but Amazon at this moment, I think will behave better because Apple and Microsoft are not behaving well. And as a result, there's a possibility that Amazon may provide a supporting hand. Plus, Boeing is also weak over the news, which I think is really overdone. We should have Boeing green by, not green, at least near to green in the morning. So Amazon is, look at the DMI, is neutral now. So Amazon DMI is neutral. Let's look at Amazon's, it's -4. Amazon is -4. See, ES and NQ are -4, -5. Which one is better? Apple, Amazon. They are also -4, -4. AMD is 0. So AMD is better in this scenario. That's why these tickers are going to give you an impact that if market is negative, Apple is negative, DMA is negative, EMA state is negative, it's a good trade to short. Perfect. So Amazon 143.65 is going to be my stop loss and buy near 144, 145. Now, if I buy here, what should be my target? I found resistance at 140, 650, 146.50, and then we could do a back test of 147.37, 147.35. For now, it's right there. It's an inside day, uh, so we have that near at an important support. So one thing which I liked from Ripster is he marked the setups as A plus, B plus, C plus. So right now, Apple is a A plus setup if you are going down. That's what I would say. And AMD is not A plus, but kind of B, B plus, because it's going to chop in between. Amazon is again B plus. Boeing, I have added Boeing right now. It went to 220. I think it should bounce because this was the area where it was kind of creating this breakout. So back test right there is good. Now, I don't know where it's going to open, but because we are already in and Boeing at 228. So I'm going to keep 228 as my stop loss. Buy in dip around 230. I expect it to test 241, 239 and 242, 243, 239 and 243. I'm not gonna short Boeing here. 239, 243. Negative news on Boeing. Like people are thinking negative news is going to bring back Boeing down. You need to remember that this stock has been beaten down a lot. Finally, it has tried to get hold of things. And when a stock is gaining momentum, it does not matter any negative news. It will simply ignore it and come back. Just you will understand what I'm saying tomorrow morning. So here, EMA state still positive, DMI is still positive, BA, and let's look at the it's 0. So high Kenichi state is 0 for PA. Then we have coin. So coin I recommended to 140, 150, 51. It made 157 on Friday and it did a good job. So let's look at the coin. Coin is -1 on high Kenichi, so it's getting better. Let's look at the DMI. It's all green, which is much better. So Google coin green, and EMA is all positive. So if we can clear, or this is the kind of resistance we are making. If we hold this and take out this 12 EMA, which is 160.7, I think we are going up. The potential is really, really strong at this time in coin or Mara. Or you can do the same thing. You can buy around 140, 150. So I think this levels will remain good. Sell below. Yep, this level should be fine on coin. Google, the DMI is totally neutral now. It is not showing anything positive. But this was one stock which was showing a little better, but this has also lost an important regression channel. Every time it loses that, it just goes on to make newer lows. But this time, it was supposed to be inverted head and shoulders, which should break out. It's coming back and testing it, which I don't. It's like kind of a double inside day, like shoulder one, shoulder two, shoulder three, shoulder four, and this is the head. If we have to bounce, this is the last area for Google. Otherwise, it should dump. So very important area for Google. Let's look at the is minus one. So Google is minus one, trend is neutral, 12 EMA. Why group? Hmm. So Google on the charts, because DMI is negative, we are below 12 and 34. So I'm gonna keep 135.50 as my stop loss on Google, and I'm gonna short it. And it can hit 133 and 130. 133.30 and 130.65. Lost both 12 and 34 EMA. Short below 135. So Apple is all not Apple. Google is also a setup. It's like not great negative, but it's setting up towards negative area. It's below this, below long-term regression channel. So possibility of resistance on the higher side is there. If we lose 135, which is like low of Friday, then possibility of going down is much higher. Then we have IWM. IWM is kind of making a hammer into the close. Not a clean one, but a hammer, I would say. So IWM, I would mark this as a hammer. Now, what will be my stop? It's 193.30 is there. So this gap is filled, which was created. Now, if it can be a back test of 191, that will be a really wonderful opportunity. So 191 is your stop loss. I would say buy in dip 192, 193. If you get into this dip, that's a good area to buy and bounce towards 194, 50 and 197. And this may happen on day of CPI. Spotify. So if I go back to Spotify sheet, uh, Spotify. Spotify is double inside bar. So Spotify is inside day into inside day. Oh, I missed JPM first. So JPM, let's talk about JPM. So JPM is trying to break out from this regression channel. It is trying its best. Like if it has to fail, this is the area to fail. But it is holding this, so I'm assuming 179, 180 is on the cards for JPM. The momentum is extremely solid. The negative momentum is not there. And if uh, rate cuts are not happening, then it may have impact on the banks and they may go down. If rate cuts are happening, then banks are going to make a really good money out of that. And all the uh, book, I would say notional losses which they are in, they'll be able to address them and make more money. So right now, CPI is before their earnings. Earnings is on 112, and I think CPI is on Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I don't recollect, but it's going towards 261, which is 178. Again, your stop loss should be 171.50. So JPM is positive. Heikkenishi is there. Let's look at JPM's S1 only. S1, yep. So my stop loss is 170.75. I'm looking at it's in like uncharted territory for now. So in this, usually the round numbers 175, 178 should provide some resistance. 175, 170. And it's not getting rejected. It's still right there. I will say near regression channel at the top. Sell below 170.5. Buy near 172.50. This is JPM, then Spotify is double inside day. Is JPM inside day? Not clearly. It may new high, no, since not an inside day. Spotify. I do not trade Spotify much, but this is a setup which is like kind of a bull flag. It's clearly a bull flag right there. So, in any chart where we do not have levels, let's draw them. So I'm going to remove everything from here. Remove drawing. Remove drawing. So this chart has nothing now. All right. So let's see how we make levels. So I'm going to create, first of all, a regression channel. Going to the lows of this period, and you will see that the price is between the dark red and the dark green. It automatically fell in between those regions. Now, once we are here, we need to define the continuation of Fibonacci. So I'm going to use this one, go to the high. It doesn't make good levels. So I'm going to, oops, I made a mistake. I'm going to draw my regression channel. And now I'm going to draw from here to here and then here. Yeah. So this, and you can see it's working out well. 61.8, it got rejected and found the base Then right at the 78, right at the 100, it's coming back and filling the gap at 100. And once it filled the gap, it is trying to bounce 12 EMA. So this Fibonacci is right as compared to which I created earlier. So this is the really important thing you need to know when you are creating your charts, that the levels should be closer to your levels. It's an inside day. So I'm going to keep a stop loss of 192 on Spotify. And it's a trade which moves well, looking at a target of 195.70 and 200. And you can buy near 193. In terms of DMI, it's all green. I'm going to give it 5 value. And it's Heikinishi. Let's check Spotify's Heikinishi. It's 1. Look at Meta. Meta has shown some resilience in the last few days. Meta is neutral, and Meta is kind of making a, I would say, if it comes to 339, that's a remarkable entry. But I want to buy Meta around 348. I'm not rushing, but I really want to buy Meta into 338. It is 0, and it's green, so I'm going to give 1 green. Buy near 348. 348 because that's the 12 EM. I want to buy it around there. Stop loss I'm going to keep around 345. 350, 250 was my area, which it did. So now 352 and 357.80. It's inside day. No, it's not an inside day. Helium is still positive. That's Meta. Microsoft, this stock has been a real disaster. It lost 12 and 34, closed below this area. Now, this is losing important support. If we lose 365, short this with some extreme strength. So I'm going to short Microsoft, short below 365. 366, sorry. Short below 366. Stop loss is your 12 EMA, 369. Target is 363.50. And then 360. This is making lower lows and lower highs. Lower low, lower high, which is never a positive sign. So this is all negative. So again, I'm saying if markets start to lose, Apple, Microsoft would be a really good area for you to short. Right now they're 0 and 0. So Apple, I mean to say Meta, I want to buy in depth, and be careful with the stop losses. These stop losses are really hard and should be respected firmly by you guys. Otherwise, you will end up in losses because the market is going to be very crystal clear in terms of downside. Guys, give me 1 second. I need to just take one thing. One second. Okay. Yeah. Now let's go to Netflix. Netflix. Netflix tried, but again could not capitalize on breaking out this 12 EMA on multiple times. It went on to make 481 on Thursday, 417 on Friday, but it's not making. It's getting tighter and tighter. So 468 is a very good area if Netflix comes around that area and you want to try. Uh, so I want to buy and dip Netflix, but it's an inside day. So if it comes to 470, 471, I'll be a buyer because that's an important area for here. Because DMI is all solid, so I'm going to buy this for Netflix. And let's look at the Haikinishi for Netflix is neutral. So inside day neutral, everything lines up for Netflix. If Netflix works out, it should be really good. 478, 484. And I still think, let me just check on Netflix uh, options as well. Netflix. I'm looking at anything. Let's look at any multi-legs first. If there are any common multi-legs. Not here. Somebody's buying a put for 400. Very small amount. $800 only. $600 only. But this one looks interesting. Somebody's selling 480 put right at the close and buying 475. So this guy is positive. This is the last second trade. And same thing is here. I think that this is iron condor. Just to eat the premium. Okay. Not much on the multi-legs. Here we have 71. Let's see if there's a dark pool on Netflix. No dark pool. 475 puts were there. 475 puts. Not much. So not much here on Netflix option flow. So as of now, I'm just keep waiting for Netflix. If it comes in that area, it's good. If it doesn't, then we'll see. Then we have Nvidia. Nvidia has broken above 12 EMA and above 61.8 Fibonacci 489.90, and I carried some position into Nvidia. So 486 is my stop loss this time. 486 was the target. Now 486 is my stop loss. I want to buy above 490. If it does, this time I think 499 and 499 and 500 are there. 495, 499.90. Sell below 486. It has turned neutral. And let's look at the Haikinishi for Nvidia is +1. And guys, if you're getting anything, let me know. Because it's the thing which is going to help you and me both. So I just want to make sure that yes, you're getting what I'm trying to convey here. Tesla, the stock in a very tight range for almost like 236 is really, really important. If it loses 236, then it's trouble for Tesla. Right now, it's like if I try to join this line, every time it comes here, it has seen a massive downside. So just be careful on Tesla. DMI is showing extremely negative. Heikinishi is also showing -5. So Tesla is weak. And EMA is still positive, but it's like if it has to bounce, this is the only place. So I'm just gonna mark it's a potential morning star. You can buy here 237 to 236.50, but sell below 236 for 218. 218 is this 225, 218, 219. So keep an eye on Netflix, not Netflix, Tesla. Last one is in PayPal. PayPal is like a morning star. I tried PayPal last week and it didn't work out, but I think with earnings from banks, it's going to really help PayPal. I want to buy above 60, 65. I want to buy above 60, 65, which is a 12 EMA. Stop loss 59.75. Target 60, 63 and 66. It may work out this time. May get help from bank's earnings. So if you want to buy some time out on, not time out, far time on these options, you should. All right, guys, so I'm done. Hopefully, you got a gist of what I'm trying to do here. Let me just sort the data. I don't know what's happening with PayPal. All right, any question? Starbucks. Starbucks is losing control because of China. So momentum is really bad. DMI is negative on Starbucks. SPUX. Heikinishi is negative. May test 91. I don't know more than that. As of now, 91 is a possibility on Starbucks. All right, guys. Anyone else has any questions? Otherwise, I'm pretty much done. I'm gonna post this right away. All right. If nobody has any questions, then thank you for joining. Have a good day tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow night. Bye bye. Take care.